Man, I don't know how the
What's
hell
going
the
on?
Texas Rangers end up being the end of that whole package right there, man. This championship. I don't know who out there. It's not even baseball season, man. I don't know who out
Hey
there to
man,
put them on there celebrating.
spring, spring training
Nobody
around the
asked for
corner,
all that.
man. You
Nobody
gotta you
asked
gotta
for
take
all
care of
that.
you gotta show love to the local market, man.
Nobody asked for all of that, man. They could
Oh
have kept
man.
that in baseball season.
Man,
But
what's
what's up,
going on,
everybody?
everybody? Hey man,
It's
this is the What It Was
101
Sports
Sports
Show.
Show. We appreciate y'all for joining us. What's
What's
up,
up,
fellas?
fellas?
What's going
What's
All
going
on?
good
on, man?
here. Good evening.
Man,
So it looked like we
Welcome
got
to the
some.
playoffs 2024.
Yeah,
Playoffs
that's what I was
2024.
originally wanted to kick off with was the playoffs, but yeah, we got some news in both NFL and uh, college
Football.
football,
Yep.
and I
Hmm.
guess we just started off with college football. The great, many people may call him the GOAT of college football. Nick Saban is retiring. I forgot how many total years of coaching he's had, but he has informed his team that he will be stepping back. So, how do y'all feel about that big news in college football?
That's my bad. No. Not surprised. Given the um, one, his record, his accomplishments, certainly they speak for themselves. I don't think he has much more to prove. But then also with the drastic changes coming to the SEC next year, the dilution, the portal. I think all those things have ultimately caught up, and I don't think he believes even this year. To his, I think to a lot of people, surprised that they made it into the playoff expansion is going to a lot more teams next year. So I just think in his case, I think he just thought now it's the time to bow out because it's going to get harder, not easier from here. And so I can certainly see why he would want to leave at this point. Again, I had no. If you would have told me back in late November that they would be in the playoff, I wouldn't have believed you. And I certainly wasn't expecting Georgia to lose the way they did. Um, so for him to get there, he can leave knowing that he got into the dance yet again. Yeah, walk away while you're still on this relative high because I think Alabama over performed this year. Um, so I see it as a wise move on his part. And one thing I definitely don't want to keep seeing is I remember when you had Bobby Bowden and Joe Paterno, they played in the game, played against each other, and both of them like 80 at the time. And it's just like, we're barely able to get on the field. And, I think the game is moving to I think younger people going for these younger coaches. And just to see these guys as legendary as they are, people just don't want to see 80-year-old guys. I mean, Saban's what, 72? 72 years old. So, how much more
72.
energy you have for this game. So, yeah, I
Yeah.
could definitely see him why he went to buy out.
yeah.
I
Nah, I
think it's
personally
great.
think
Go ahead.
biggest thing about Nick Saban is his ability to adjust. He was always able to adjust even during these times. And one amazing stat that I heard, he has in just Alabama alone, he has more first round picks, 44,
Yeah.
than total
Yeah.
losses, 29.
Yeah.
Oh, that
That's
don't make
Amazing.
no damn sense, man.
that,
That don't make
give a
no damn
shout.
sense.
Give a shout out to all the brothers that grow to be 6'4", 230 pounds,
Yeah.
running 4'5", 40. Give a shout out to
And
them.
and and before this NIL era, shout out to all the bag men that Nick Saban used to pay all that talent, all those Chargers, those challengers, and all those people that helped get stuff done. Because it's funny how it
Sponsors.
came out and how people were always kind of act shocked. And it's people with stories was like when he was back at Michigan State in the late '90s, and they was just like this guy was like, man, come to Michigan State, we can get. And it was like he's at an all-star game recruiting and getting guys. So it's just like and shout out to that. You don't have to hide that anymore. But props to Coach Saban. I will say this. I used to just really just as a coach, just for whatever reason, just didn't like him. He won so much, he beat the hate out of me. It was just like, hey, he's gonna win. Don't frustrate yourself. Just hope, hey, when he loses by a kick six, which shows how great he is. I gotta lose like that. And it's like he'll be back and he'll just keep winning and keep accumulating. And it reminds me, like to spring off what Mr. Bennett said. Um, Coach K, when he retired, hey, the game is changing. I've done all my winning. Do I really want to recruit guys to be great and then recruit my team? And in football, I got to recruit 20, 30 guys. Basketball, yeah, you still got to recruit the same couple of people, or hey, they're playing 1 year and then they're gone. But do I want to deal with that? And you've won 7 championships overall, 6 at Bama. Just leave on top. I will say this, and I've heard people say it, and the more you look at college football, this isn't the best job to get, and you never want to be the guy to follow up the man. They're going to go and grab a big name coach, but with NIL and with like you said, expanded SEC and other guys, do you want to go and coach where it's an ultimate pressure cooker to where you lose 2 games and you're on a hot seat? That's a tough job to pull off. He set the expectations so high.
Dante, I have a question for you and Shawnee and Brother Bennett. Hey,
what's going on?
I want the job. Y'all gonna be my assistants?
Let's do it.
I don't
want to like 750. 750.
I don't want to do with that southern crowd down there, man.
Okay.
That Alabama, what is it? Alabama, Mississippi.
Mississippi State, right there.
All that down there.
Bulldogs, baby.
Them people, that football is all they got because they don't really have that much professional football teams down there. And they live and die that college football.
Right.
Damn in them Alabama.
It is insulated. You're right about that.
I think Nick Saban retired, because you can look at his record, you can see that he's truly the greatest college coach.
That's proof.
But I think it's great for college football that he is moving on because you can see with the name, likeness, and image, it gives schools who didn't have an opportunity to now have an opportunity. It sort of it makes the game a little more leveled out. Alabama was still down. I think that they proved this year that they still can be a dominant team. I think Nick Saban's age, he needs to retire though. He can do better. He can probably give them another championship. But they talking about having a great team next year. But I think with the name, likeness, and image, I think it's good for the college game altogether because conferences are changing and players are going to be going after the money. And this is the greatest time. That's why I say, and goes back to the student athlete. If you can play a sport and you smart and let's just say a C average, you make a D just acting silly, get your butt into these schools and get some of this free money. Go get you a couple $100,000 for free and get an education. Because if you got the money with a college degree coming out of America, you're going to be a top 5 or 10%. And you might just get a break like some guys and just go to the NFL or the NBA or baseball. These are great opportunities right now for you because if you don't take it, brother, the other dude, he going to take it. And they're going to give him all the highlight. You're going to be over on the corner talking about, man, I should have took that opportunity. So if you 6'2", 3", and you can lift a little weights, bench press about 350, 400, run, man, take advantage of it because the money's there. Why you think Angel Reese and them out here tripping? They getting $3 million a year. So why not? It's easy money.
Man,
just show up. Make sure you show up.
Make more Angel Reese and them. They're gonna make more money in college than they do in the pros. Well, maybe I guess depending on how long they stay pros.
Yeah.
A cumulative professional career, they may ultimately make more, but I don't know. They making more right now. These NIL deals.
Yeah.
Trey isn't playing, man. You want 350, 400 coming out of high school, man.
I mean,
coming out of high school, benching 400.
But 300 was always the guys' goal. That's what when the guys I get around, they talking bitch press and they look like they was doing 300 because they had necks like this. And they was, man, I'm telling you.
They moving that bar more than 6 inches, though.
Like when I dudes was jumping 45, 46 inches, man. I'm like, these dudes like, dang.
Yeah, you got facilities like they do at IMG.
Man, we was jumping out like dudes. Guys was jumping like that off concrete. Programs.
Yeah, them programs like that where it's just like you're getting all these guys like basically got 4 and 5 star. Like you're not getting these guys from a regular base school. That's why when schools played them, it's just like you got to be in a certain type of position because even an elite high school in like the elite states like a Florida, the regular Florida schools and California, Texas, Pennsylvania. Like those schools, it's tough to compete with that. They can really, but they're trying to make it. And I know that's another reason to transition out of the college game. They're making everything so specialized and like pro early. Like I really don't like love the prep school thing for football because it's like I feel like, hey, it's a basketball thing. That's a number of guys you can, pluck and get, and hey, that system is there. But on the football, you need 35 some really good players for depth and to play regularly. And I just don't believe like go and enjoy your high school experience. It's already one thing that the elite athletes are going to go and take. Graduate early and then go and enroll early enrollee. So, but let them be a kid as long as they can and enjoy that. The professional side, that stuff is going to come, and I do think that's how we get the guys in balance and get to the league. And like, hey, why are they acting like this? Like, well, they never grew up. They had to go up and be a professional early. So, and that's so much to deal with. But shout out to Coach Saban and what he's done. I know Alabama is going to go. I was just listening to something before we started the show. They're going to make a big swing. I've heard that a rumor that the coach from Oregon, Dan Lanning, he's somebody they're going to look at. And my thing is he can have a good program and they'll be good. What's going on? What we know. Appreciate you checking us out. Shout out to Hink. I seen you in the chat, man. They're going to get a good coach, but it's like so if you do it right, you got to get somebody that's not going to move the needle. That's going to move the needle, but you also don't want to let the rail just go off the rails like where it was when Saban got there. You don't want it to get that bad. So
well, man, it's like whoever is going to replace Belichick. Hell, it's like when the Patriots was trying to find the next quarterback. You don't want to be that guy who replaced the legend. You want to be the guy that replaced the guy that replaced the legend. So whoever's going to come in and attempt to try to replace Saban, in real terms, you like, okay, look, you are not Saban. Just be you. That's what you would normally tell them. But that fan base down now,
it's great change.
They have a 4-loss season, and they'll probably show up at his doorstep. Hell, I know they do it in Houston. Houston, man, you play bad, they will come to your doorstep. You're like, what the hell is this? They did that to Matt Schaub. He had that 2-14 season. Next thing you know, they showing up in his front yard. Wow. I'm like, oh hell, man, y'all overstepping y'all boundaries now.
Yeah. Hey, you got to deal with it. Like with his college, you can have those crazy expectations because there's no salary cap, literally. So you can just go and get what you need and have. Hey, man, I got a future first rounder as the backup, as a swing tackle. I got, edge players that's going to be in the league in 2-3 years, along with a guy that right now is going to, churning out guys. What was it, 44 first-round picks? So it's crazy to see. It's good to see a shake up and see things change.
That number probably go up in the 24 draft. So.
Yeah, in the 24 draft. But it's just crazy to me that I guess it must be really time to go and warn on them because you got when they did the 2 early polls, the preseason polls, got Jalen Miro coming back. He's a Heisman candidate. You got some defenders, that they got coming back. Like our linebackers just left because he can't get on the field because the 2 inside linebackers that they have are going to be excellent. They always got the big defensive linemen. I want to say I know they got that safety. That's a 5-star. He's going to be a true sophomore.
But you bringing those names up. We just now found out about Saban's retirement. I would not be surprised if you start seeing some names going in that transfer portal.
Oh, they're gonna get portal rated. They're gonna get portal rated.
Try to find a way to get to Georgia.
Look, and I'll tell you.
I'm gonna tell you who gonna get a few of them boys because he gonna Deion gonna get 2 or 3 of them if they leave. He gonna get them. Come on over to Colorado.
Yeah. The Texas boys that he likes to come to Texas and recruit, they need to go right back to UT and go over there. They coming to the SEC, so you're not going nowhere. Just stay home.
A 5-star receiver just decommitted. A 5-star receiver that just decommitted, and that guy is a teammate of a quarterback that Texas already has signed to their 2025 class. So it's going to be speculation everywhere. And then what is it? The second signing day is coming in February. It's going to be chaos. It's going to be chaos. So they're going to have to either say that they're going to have the interim guy to try to stabilize it, or they in the next probably 48 to 72 hours, they've got to make their move to be like, boom, we've got to make a big splash. So you're about to. So if I was to people in Austin, it's time for the contract extension time to get sped up. It's time to hey Sark, let's get this extension done. Let's get you a new house. You need a new boat. What you need? It's that type of season because if not, whenever they meet and it's just like, oh, you had a meeting. Whenever you hear that college coach, I did speak with them. If it's not a definitive, I turn the job down. You're thinking about it, and that's the worst thing you can put your fan base through, and wake up and be like, well, your coach is gone, and so that's gonna be, man. That's I think this is probably one of the on the positive side, one of the bigger, without the negative stuff like the scandal with Penn State and stuff. This is probably one of the biggest college football stories I can remember.
Right. And speaking of scandal, get out before one comes up.
You know it. There you go.
Too long.
Yeah.
There you go.
Stay on, find something.
Yeah. But
it's a great team for college football.
I want to swing it to the pro game, and I see you got the playoffs. So you kidding me? Man, let's talk about your Steelers, man, because he did it again. Hold on.
Can we talk about this national championship and then we go?
Yeah.
All right. Let's do the national.
How did y'all think about that game?
Actually, I thought it was a better game than I thought it was going to be. I thought when they went up 2 scores early on, I thought there was going to be another rout. But I thought the defense shored up, and they had their chances. I mean, really, the 4th and 7 play in the second quarter where the guy was wide open and Penix had him and he just overthrew him. That was big. And then the 2 plays in the fourth quarter, the second half with the guard, the number 73 for Washington getting those holding calls, killed him. I mean, but they were right there. If they could have got one of those, they would have been right in the game. So I think that certainly the game was, a lot better than the score had indicated. I think Washington was there. It's just that Penix, I think he missed, and then again the calls just killed him. I'm thinking, it's a national championship game. I mean, you let some stuff go, man. But I just thought that those calls were just killers. You just can't have those.
I feel the same way. I thought it was a fairly decent game. Like you say, Washington had several opportunities to at least tie the ball game because Washington's defense is terrible. But they was getting the stops. It was like, okay, offense, y'all bailed us out literally the entire season. We getting stops. Let's tie this game, but they just could not.
They tightened it up in the second half. I mean, the second half.
Michigan's front, they was just off Penix time, and he was uncomfortable the whole game. Right. And I believe UT probably would have been a better matchup because of the styles. Michigan doesn't throw the ball a lot, but they run the ball. UT has a hellified run defense. So I thought the styles of that would have, but I thought Washington, they supposed to have the best O-line. I think they got voted the best O-line as O-line versus D-line.
They won it.
And the O-line didn't do that bad, but Michigan's D-line won. But like Mr. Bennett said, Washington, they had their chances, man. They had their chances. And I thought if they would have capitalized on those chances, the game would have been a whole lot more exciting.
Indeed.
I think once
and
Michigan
they couldn't
won, it was just like, okay, Michigan won. It was just no buzz about it. Michigan, I guess, was the favorites. But I think that game just could have been a lot more exciting if Washington just would have capitalized on just the opportunities they had.
Yeah, I would have loved it. I would have loved it because normally with the better quarterback you win, but they had the better up front, and they were just able to handle Washington and just run it at will. And Penix didn't play like the better quarterback.
One real quick note though, I believe that running back for Washington was kind of doing them more harm than good. Johnson,
he was hurt.
He was hurt.
Stayed out of that game,
and you could tell every time he got tackled, he was slow to get up because he was grimacing. I'm like, dude, get off the field because
only 11 rushes for 33
right now,
yards.
It's not helping. You need somebody who know 100%, but your 60 or 50% you giving, it's not helping.
Yeah.
Michigan played bully ball. Michigan proved that they were the dominant team this year because Washington they were right there early in the game, the first half, and then the penalties always hurt them when they got on the good side of the field. When they got on Michigan side of the field, here come those crazy penalties. But I was just looking at the interior line on both sides of the ball. The line was sort of standing Washington's line up, so it really couldn't do too much. And then in the second half, man, Michigan was just going downhill in the offense and defense. Everybody, if you noticed, everybody was just rushing downhill. I mean, everybody was getting to the quarterback. And then that's all Washington really got without a running game. Yeah. And they just started double teaming in the secondary, and it was like you couldn't do nothing. You see how he ended the game hurt.
Well, that kid Odunye for Washington, he was open all night. I don't know why they didn't
he was missing him
on whatever, but they missed him or caught him.
He
was constantly open. I'm like, man.
Yeah. After seeing these 2 games, I can see why he's highly touted as far as I want to say some people got him as like the number 2 receiver in this class coming out. Said had the best season ever for Washington as far as a receiver. So it was amazing to see. Like it's crazy to me always, even win or lose, no matter how lopsided it is, there's always a lot of talent on this field. And just to see it, it's just like, man, you get to that opportunity and you hate it for a team as good as Washington was,
right?
Even though it beat my Longhorns, to be able to just, man, let it get away from you. And I know they until they get to their draft prep, it's gonna be killing them. They're like, man, we missed that. I missed that pass, and I did this, and because it's just so many opportunities they left money on the table. And when Blake Corum got that last touchdown, that late touchdown, I was like, yeah, they put him to bed. And it's like that physical run game, the fact that they had the 2-headed monster in the backfield and just getting it done. It's almost like, and I saw it on I was on X or Twitter. They were saying, because people are like, why are they just throwing the ball? Why don't you take the game plan you did against Penn State and do not throw a pass until they stop you? Just run the ball. But they end up getting it together, and I don't know. Do y'all think that I gotta ask it? Do y'all think that Michigan championship is tainted in any way because of this, the scandal?
Not at all.
Yeah,
they were. I'm glad they kind of won because they put it to the Big Ten. So they could stop while they crying.
Yeah. I mean, they went on.
What's going on?
Man was suspended for 3 games.
6.
Yeah,
6 games.
So
shout out to So someone needs to be recruiting that coach that stepped in. And
the offensive coordinator.
If he can get a job,
he's got. I think he's gonna have like KP said in the chat. I think he's getting the Michigan job because Harbaugh.
I hope so.
I think with all the allegations and all the flirting with the NFL, I think he's gonna finally go. Hey, you won Michigan a championship and put them back on top. 3 straight Big Ten titles. It's never gonna get any better than this. Just leave and go to the league and go from there.
I'll put it out there. Alabama, he's available. Alabama. He's available. He got offense. He got
if Michigan lets that man out the door, then
he's there.
I think the only place he goes out to the door to.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's just
the NFL.
What was he suspended for anyway?
Man,
basically in college you can't. They was what was it? Advanced scouting. They were doing advanced scouting, and on the college level, that's not a thing. And the other coach, the coach was like buying multiple tickets and picking up on signs and tendencies, stuff that's like normal. So like TCU literally knew of it, and they was just like, we're just gonna send all our signs this week. And so it was nothing really. It wasn't like Deflate Gate or Spygate. It wasn't like nothing like that. Like,
that's what it was. It was Spygate on the college level. It was Spygate on 2024.
It's not like a death penalty kind of thing. That's what you're saying. It's one of those.
Yeah, it would not.
That's cool.
And then he's
right. That Nick Saban job is going to look real good, man, because they're going to be looking hard for somebody.
Right.
Payne, would you take it out, Payne? If they offered it to you, you wouldn't take it.
Like you said, somebody already said it. He won at Michigan, so he punched that ticket. And Alabama's just sitting there, and the state, man, looks like they'll pay you almost anything that you want. They admit when Nick Saban was the highest paid person in the whole state.
Yeah, it's what they say is what they say in the SEC. It's just different. It means more.
Yeah.
So nah,
it's Alabama too, man. It's Alabama.
But I think if he stays in college, he's gonna stay in Michigan because I believe that's his alma mater. So
yeah, this is alma mater. He's a Michigan guy.
Yeah, but what else is there to do? I mean,
Exactly.
you played for Michigan. You won a national championship for the school. Again, put a bow on it. And if you want to go to You want to go to the pros? You want to go to the chart? I mean, we got 4 coaching vacancies open currently. There might be a 5th if Belichick decides to leave. So, and he's crazy enough. People talk about you don't want to follow a legend, but I think this guy is arrogant enough that he would want to take that challenge on.
Because
I
he
don't
already
think
turned
that
down
would
$100 million
read him at all if he wanted to go.
Yeah.
What's up, man?
Hey.
He already turned down $100 million from Michigan, I believe. I believe if all the stuff is not around him currently in college football, I think there'll be a strong chance he will stay in Michigan. He built that program. They have success. But hell, everything that they whining about up there and all this, he probably, I got no time for this. And then the way college football is, I was hearing on my way up here, how they constantly recruiting and then you poaching players from his friends' roster. You poach all of this when NFL, you I know they look like they coaching all the time, but NFL you have some semblance of the potential to have a life compared to college football. It's just so he may just get away from all that because even though he was suspended for 3 games, that was the Big Ten or the Big Ten. They're done with the whole thing, but the NCAA is investigating now, so we don't even know what's coming down the pike. After they investigation, he's like, man, you know what? I got no time to, y'all have it, man. I'm going over here. I ended on a high note. I'm pretty damn sure I got 3 potential. Well, not Chicago anymore, and we'll get to that when we get to the NFL. But he got jobs in the NFL if he wants to. They'll move everybody over and allow him to come coach. So,
indeed. Shout out to Brother Hink joining us tonight. So it's like we got 3-on-3. We got the 3 balls versus the 3 beards. We do a 3-on-3 game here. The balls versus the beards. And let's go.
Check out. We got 2 light skins too. We got 2 light skins. We're good. We all evened out. We all balanced out.
That's it.
I'm kind of concerned, man. Detroit got this whole ugly ass Louisville hat on, man. What is
man?
Listen, I know y'all can't help it, man. You ain't gotta hate it, man. However you look at it, man, it's hard. I know it's hard, man. I know it look
you realize they losing right now as you speak, right?
Man, look, we need Kenny Payne to scoot up, man. That's how they do, man. There's too much. We'll talk about that. I figure you know a little bit about them cards, so.
Well, I live here. I live here in a city of Louisville, Kentucky. So yeah.
Oh, okay, then that's where all my roots are.
Oh, okay.
I was over at Appleton High School, '86.
Oh damn, that's way back. I came out in '94. I came out of Eastern High School in '94. But what y'all was saying about I don't know if y'all heard the news that your boy Nick Saban just retired.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
We all went around on that one. So give you 2 cents on that one. What do you think?
Man, look, Hall of Fame career, man. Did everything you could possibly want to do as far as in college football. Won in multiple schools, got multiple championships. Now, I think Alabama's probably going to take a hit because right now I don't know. Alabama's not a school that you need to hire an assistant coach from. They one of those schools that they can go to another college and pluck a head coach from. You know what I'm saying? So I think they're going to take a hit because to me, seemed like he waited real late in the season because pretty much all the jobs were filled. And now you still have you got about 5 NFL jobs opening up. So, you might still lose some more college coaches. So coaches going to be scrounging for coaches right now, man. And it's going to be tough. So we'll see. But hell of a coach, hell of a career, man. And, if you got to play for up on them, I know at some time in your career you got the opportunity to play for a championship, if not win one. So
you think Nick Saban? You think Nick Saban's going to retire for good, or just?
I think he was 72 years old.
Yeah, I think he is.
Go enjoy life.
Yeah. I mean, I'm surprised. I'm surprised your boy Bill Belichick made it out. without maybe stepping down or forcefully stepping down. You know what I'm saying? So yeah,
That's
you
to be
can only
determined.
go so long, man. You get in your 70s, man. You don't. That's rough. That's a lot of wear and tear on them old heads. You know what I'm saying? So
They all don't look like Pete Carroll, who got that energy. I mean, they still look rather young for their age,
Nah,
but Pete
yeah,
Carroll has that youth appearance and that energy. But even he, as we saw today, I
He's
guess it's a
out
good
too.
time to
yeah,
He's out.
translate
they
to the
say he's staying with the
NFL.
organization, but
He
nah,
put him to Brad
I'm with
Stevens
you.
in Boston.
Yeah, I'm
Brad
with you.
Stevens
I
moving
don't
to
know why
Philly.
you at a certain point. I know you love it and you've done a lot. You got to see the end game at some point. So where it's
yeah.
just like I know if I'm a great coach like that, I'm not trying to be like Bill, where they was like, "Hey, he getting fired. He getting fired." I done all this. I'm not getting fired. I'm telling them right now. Like before they think, I'm just like, "Hey, look, this is my retirement date. I'm setting it up. I don't want. Matter of fact, he should have known once he saw that what's the name wasn't good enough. He really should have just like, let me get my 300 wins. I'm gone. Yeah, you want to get Shula, but you're not gonna get Shula without a quarterback. You need a legitimate quarterback, and so that it just you can't you gotta know when enough is enough. But KP, I see you in the chat. I see what you said about if I was Harbaugh, I would go to LA. I would go to the Chargers.
Yeah,
I know he played
you got a
quarterback for them.
franchise quarterback waiting for you.
I would go out there. You got the quarterback. You just need to find a competent defensive coordinator, get the skills right, and then I would say get rid of the hurt guys. Like if you're talented but you're staying hurt, that's hurting us literally. Get rid of some of those guys, and if you could have some stable players, make some and then just that cheap ownership of the Spanos family. That's a tough one to deal with. But if he's willing to cut the check, I take that job, and that's another one. Whatever he gets this last job, Harbaugh need to sit it down too. It's like I can't coach forever, man. Let the young guys get in there, man.
You know something? Do y'all think your boy Pierce should get that the Vegas job? You think he should definitely get a good hard look at that job?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
I
sir.
was talking to a Raiders
Definitely.
fan, one of my boys, and he was like, "Yeah, he really got him playing for him." And I'm hesitant on the coaches on the interim coaches, but with its organization like that, you need as much continuity as you can. I say give the guy a legitimate shot, give him the tools that he needs, and go from there. There is some talent on the roster. It's just that you hired a bum for a coach. Like he shouldn't have got another opportunity. You made that mistake already. And so
But
if he
here's
can
where
connect with the guys, I'm waiting.
this year is going to be a really good example of the Rooney Rule now because it's about 6 vacancies, I think, maybe a little more, maybe 5 or 6. And now
Speaking
I
of
think,
that,
but I think brothers going to get a chance. They're going to have to give. Man, we need at least 2 or 3 of those head coaching jobs,
Man,
brothers.
I think
you know what?
Brothers out there.
Raheem,
Mike
you guys think
Kessler
Raheem
screwed
could
up
get
that
a
Rooney
shot in
Rule.
LA? Raheem
Yeah.
Morris? I know he's been in the
Well,
league before, but he's on the
I
roster.
I would like it, but it's almost like when you hear certain names, those are the Rooney Rule guys, and it's kind of like I feel like Raheem Morris feels like that. I feel like he got let go early, and he should have gotten another opportunity by now. And it's kind of like if you were in a window in a 3-year period, if you don't get the
You got
job by then,
Yeah.
you're only
we
going to
need
get that job when nobody wants it. And I want to say, but Marty Jones said you get that job where it's just like the Panthers job where no other good coaches want it. So it's just like let's make a diversity hire,
And
and
you see
then
why.
they clean the team up, and then here comes the
So
white
on
coach
that
to get the
point, brother,
success.
on that
So I
point,
don't want them
if
jobs.
you were a black person and they try to give you the Carolina job, would you turn that
I'm
down?
going. No, why would you turn down any job in the NFL? You
Because
take it if
okay,
y'all
That's the tough
let me
part.
tell you my motivation. Let me tell you why. They give you a team that's probably gonna lose every game of the season, and then you're finished forever. They'll fire you, and you'll never get another job. And then when the
I
white
mean,
boys come in,
It
they
it
give them a
it
stacked
yeah,
team.
but Payne, it depends on the assurances you make. If you come in, you're gonna give me the exact same team. Hell no. But with the Panthers, even though they don't have that first, they got the number 2. They got the first overall pick in the second round. You have
Okay.
cap space because you ain't drafted good. You got a bunch of bums on the team, so I know you got to have some cap space, or you need to
but
move some stuff around to get some cap space. Protect your quarterback. I know they took the tackle from NC State a few years ago.
yeah,
Build around it and at least give me a chance. If I got a young quarterback that has some talent, I'm gonna put some pieces around them. If they keep the edge, they
no,
got Brian Burns.
But
That's
we have
that's
the
a good
yeah.
piece for the defense. I would take the job, but I need some assurances because I know what
But
you're
we have
saying.
but we have the
We
example though.
we get What do
You
you
got
say?
the example. I mean, you guys, Houston, right? I mean,
Yeah.
Houston was like the worst job in the NFL, like what, a year
Young
ago,
coach.
where they were talking
Young.
about hiring. The
There
owner
was
wanted to hire
somebody.
a high school football coach.
Yeah,
That's why
young.
they
And
was
then,
they was about
but
to
they
make a
get the
buck
right
of that.
QB, and now they're a playoff team.
With
So
a
it's
young
possible,
coach.
you know what I mean?
And you
But
need
because
They
with
had,
the
they had some hidden
The
talent,
thing
man.
about the
Problem they
Carolina
had was
Panthers,
No,
the
but
problem they
nobody
had
wanted.
was
But Houston, that was 2 years ago.
hold on.
Houston was like when the Miami situation was going down when they fired.
yeah,
Um,
Flores.
yeah, and then the Houston. Those are like the two worst jobs in the NFL, and they were like, "What are these guys doing?" It was an incompetent organization, and now all that swept under the rug in less than 2 years.
It was an individual that they got. Go ahead though, Hank. You were saying something.
no, I'm saying the good thing about the Carolina job, it's really a good job if they if you got to look deep into it because you in a conference where it's wide open.
Yes.
Well,
It's
Yes.
a wide open conference.
so
Yes.
since you
And-
brought up that point, Hank, because when Mr. Bennett brought up about the Texans, the reason why they had all those issues down there, it was a particular individual in the front office who was screwing up a lot of stuff. They let him go, and
Okay.
that's when you immediately saw seeing improvement. That's when DeMeco rise and other stuff like that. The thing about Carolina is their owner. Their owner is the one who's screwing them up. So Arpan brought up, okay, if a black coach goes there, you already have an owner who has proven he is not. That team has nothing right now. So you can't come in there. That's why the Texans were getting beat up. You can't come in there. I don't care what coach come in there and expect them to take they only won 2 games this season, and all of a sudden have them win at least 8 games the next season. But with that owner, if they don't do something, he will fire them. So it's like, dude, he's not going to have the support of the ownership. So like Arpan said, you going over there, it's like damn near resume suicide. You going over there, you put me a bad resume. Now it's going to be hard for me to find another job because I got this stain on my resume.
But
fellas,
us as black coaches, we can't afford to turn down these jobs.
Exactly.
And at 32 of them.
That's the catch-22.
That's
One
the
minute we
tough
can't sit
conundrum.
there and cry and say, "Hey, I need an opportunity," but then when the opportunity presents itself, well, I don't want to go there because it's not the best of the best. We
Yeah, but
can't
it's a
do
trick
that.
bag, though.
But it doesn't matter. But as a coach, you got to have the.
But
As a
what
coach, you
happens if you hit? What happens if you hit? You can write your own check then, brother.
Write your own
Right,
check.
right.
Uh-huh.
And
I'm not
as a
agreeing
coach,
with you. I'm just saying that it's a game, right? It's all a game.
Yeah.
And I think that the NFL owners are insidious enough to put black coaches in the worst jobs so they'll never have to hire their asses again. That's what I said. That's what I mean. They even remember when they fired the brother from Detroit? He had a winning season. There was no reason for him to ever get fired. What was that brother?
Caldwell.
How come he ain't go just somewhere?
Jim Caldwell.
And that's why they ain't winning since.
He's a very good coach.
But Carolina is just a filler team. The NFL has 32 teams. Carolina, if you look at it, they really haven't bought in any new veterans, no free agency. They continuously just go to their pond in the draft, and they just a filler team because they're not. I mean, they could be better than what they are, but it's going to take an offensive-minded coach and a players coach to work with Carolina because they've just been getting coaches defense, and they got Bryce Young. Bryce Young's a good quarterback, but he needs an offensive-minded coach, and they got to protect.
They got to protect him, but I'm against the saying, and I'm an offensive guy. Love offense a lot more than defense. I'm against it just going out and getting an offensive coach. Because my thing is, I shouldn't give you the job if you're a defensive coach. If you can't get this job with an analyst that can one day be a position coach or a position coach that can go and be a coordinator, if I hire a really good offensive coordinator and somebody takes him. And I think like a guy like Rico Ryans is proven, hey, I got the leadership. I'm going to get the offense together. I'm going to build the culture. And, it took some breaks. But my thing is, he put that team in position and they won the division. And I know about Kevin Stefanski, but the odds he was dealing with, that's my coach of the year. Like what he did and the way he got that team moving. And that's like, and they still got, I want to say they got Cleveland's pick, so it's not very high. I'm really optimistic on what they can do. And I'm with you. That has me thinking I'm taking the Carolina job and I'm going with it. Because I want to say, and there's other coaches, they can't afford to say, hey, I'm gonna pass on this. Like Eric Bieniemy, if somebody gives him a head coaching opportunity, he got to take it. Now the coordinator from the Lions, he can wait another round because he's in position to be like, hey, he's got that offense really humming, and I think he can wait. But there's a lot of other coaches that can't, because if you do, it misses on you. But
Byron Leftwich and Bieniemy. Right now, Byron Leftwich, he can be a great quarterback coach.
I think they may let him go in Washington. I think they're going to start off in a clean slate.
Yeah,
but I want to bring this point up because Frank Reich was the former Panthers coach. They fired him after 11 games. He was 1-10.
Yes.
I don't know if he'll get another head coaching job. I would not be surprised. He shouldn't be a head coach anyway. But I'll believe he will get another coordinator job. Head coaching, I don't know, because you seeing like this youth movement, recently with head coaches. But I believe Frank Reich could potentially get another coordinator job. Now, swap that with a black head coach. If he goes 1-10 and they fire him before the end of the season, you already know you can scratch off another head coaching job. And I don't even know if he'll get another coordinator position. Now Brian Flores is different because of, and I think he got blackballed because he put that
the information out there.
So
that
he got picked.
Lawsuit.
Yeah, he got picked up by the Steelers as a coach because Tomlin was looking out for him, and then now he's a coordinator, so he's proven his worth. Now on the football side, I mean, it is kind of a bad look right now because Flores was wanting Tua out of there. He was not a big fan of Tua, and then here comes Mike McDaniel completely turned Tua around, but that's a separate thing. So, but it's just interesting.
Offensive coach.
Yeah.
But to his credit, I heard he wanted Tua. I only wanted Herbert.
What's that, Hank?
I said, did he really turn Tua around? Because Tua is still Tua's fortunate because he didn't get hurt this year.
Well, before Tyreek got to Miami, people were talking about Tua as a bust. And then when Tyreek ultimately went to Miami, and he basically saying that, Tua can throw good balls and all that, he would take Tua over Mahomes or something like that.
Yeah, that's a confidence build.
People were joking because Tua was about to be an afterthought. They wanted to trade. Flores wanted to trade Tua for Watson. He wanted Watson, but the ownership and whatnot wanted to keep
Tua. They did a smart thing.
But that goes to show how the favoritism plays in a little bit in the NFL. Even
looked like Miami. It looked like they made the right decision though, because Tua immediately.
Well, it's hard to say because you see how they struggle. Tua is not. Tua can throw the ball, but he ain't got no dart. He ain't get really.
Well, one of the reasons why is Trey is you realize he lost these last 3 games and a couple of them weren't even close.
Right, he got blew up.
Beat the brakes off of them. They had a chance to win the AFC East outright. They jacked that off. They couldn't beat Buffalo. Buffalo still a thorn in their side, even though Buffalo was what, like 9-5 when they made a 3-game run. So I don't know.
They choked the division out. You can't deny that they choked the division out, and so that the goodwill that they had built up kind of took it away a little bit. So
I see a comment Alex made about Tua, about he's not worth. I don't know exactly what his contract details is, but I'm assuming that his contract is coming up, re-signing.
Yeah, I think he's on his last year of his rookie deal.
Million. I'm like, if
I think he's on his last
Tua's going to get, he's going to get the $40 million. That's the rate. That's the market rate right now. So that's just what they're going to pay. It's hard as hell to find quarterbacks in Miami. You winning, so it's not like you're going to have a high draft pick to get these high prospect quarterbacks. It's the same thing they were doing in
quarterback. I have a question for you on the quarterback. Since we're talking about quarterback, what's Chicago going to do with Justin Fields? With Chicago,
What I believe they should do with Justin Fields, I believe they should trade him and go pick up Caleb Williams.
No, sir.
And I say this, not because Justin Fields is a bad quarterback. And okay, and we speaking of coaches.
Hang on. We got a Bears fan on it. Just be careful. Right now,
well, okay. So I say this.
Shiny ain't shit.
since we were just talking about head coaches, Chicago made the decision to stay with Matt Eberflus, but they fired their offensive coordinator. Now you're gonna get this is about to be what Fields' third offensive coordinator if they decide to keep Fields. So you already kind of setting this dude up for failure because he's not having no stability as far as coaching staff.
Well,
so I'm assuming, okay, you keeping your head coach.
Right.
I think Dante brought up a point like, he could kind of be like the CEO type and get your offensive coordinator to work with the quarterback. You might as well, since you're getting a new coordinator, you might as well go ahead and get you a new quarterback because you indirectly hurting your current quarterback.
Yeah,
so
I can see that.
They already did this last year. They already let that first pick slide and left out with Young and Stroud because they wanted to stay with Fields. So now they got a hellified decision to make. Either you see something in Fields right now to go and extend his fifth-year option to get this $23 million, but his career has been like a plateau. It's just like, dude, it's not me on the outside. I don't see nothing to where, okay, we're going to get Fields, and all of a sudden, especially since you kept your same head coach. But I think Fields, if he goes somewhere else, they may put him in a better position to win. It's like the moves, the coaching decisions, and I'm like, but me personally, I trade Fields and go get Caleb Williams just because of how the decisions were made at that organization.
So, Shanti, did you hear what you sit there and said towards the end?
What's that?
You're going to send him somewhere else, and he's going to flourish somewhere else. Then what sense does that make to trade him then?
Because Chicago has shown they don't know what the hell to do with him.
Okay, well, see, now that's why we had to fire our offensive coordinator, and I think that was a good move for us. We also fired our quarterback coach, which I think was a good move for him. So y'all was talking about Frank Wright. I would take Frank Wright, not as an offensive coordinator, but a quarterback's coach. That's the first thing I would do.
I like that.
I would go
I like it.
A young assistant out of the college level. Matter of fact, I'll tell you what, Trey, like this, Bobby Petrino. I would say, Bobby Petrino, let me take you away from Arkansas, bring you in as an offensive coordinator, have Frank Wright as a quarterback coach, and then I will run it from there. Look, people got to realize what happened with Chicago last year. Last year, they let Roquan Smith go. They allow multiple Quinn to go. And the year before that, we got Mac. So we cleared out salary cap space last year. So guess what? We was pretty much taking a dive without us telling you we was taking a dive last year in order to get that first round pick. And we got a boatload of picks. I think we need to do the same thing this year. So could you imagine us trading away? Because you got 5 teams right now that really need quarterbacks, and there's probably 3 more that need it. They just don't want to say it yet, like Pittsburgh and I think
you right up
New England.
You right on my alley.
So I think if I was them, I would trade either with New England or the Commanders for that second or third round pick, so I can stay within the same frame, so I can get Marvin Harrison. I'll take him, and I'll take Dallas Turner from the Alabama. If you don't go even further and sit there and say, I don't want Dallas Turner. I think we could find us an in free agency. As a matter of fact, we could trade with the Commanders so they could move up. We'll take your boy, the defensive tackle Allen that they have in order for them to move up. We'll take him. And we'll go out there and get your boy from Washington, that other receiver, Romans. So let's get 2 receivers in the first round to help out Justin Fields.
You got the job, Rick. You got the job. You got the GM job over there.
You've been thinking about that to get that scheme.
I'm gonna be your assistant because I want to get that.
I want you to think about it.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
won't mention. I want y'all to get that tackle from. I heard he's really good. That kid from Notre Dame, and I know Chicago and Notre Dame like to market. I think that you want to protect him. My thing is, I'm moving the pick with the goal of I'm getting you protection. I'm getting you weapons. The move for Sweat, people talked a lot of stuff about it. That looks pretty good right now. That guy, I want to say he ended up with 12 sacks total. I think he had like 6.5 with the Chicago, or did he have 6? I'm not sure, but the defense turned around with him there.
I'll tell you, he led 2 teams with the with sacks. He leading the Commanders with sacks, and he leading the Bears with sacks. So hell yeah, that
So,
was a great move.
and you already got him, and he's locked in. That's my thing is everybody kind of kicked on that deal. It's like, well, you could just go get him. And why wait for later when I can go get it now? See how he plays. He's already got the extension, so you ain't worried about your money. I'm with it. I think Fields can work out. I've seen him make the big time throws. It's just now it has to be the simple stuff like coming in consistently, making the small plays. And my
I
thing is,
agree.
if you give it because there's also, as we saw with the team in Jacksonville, as we move to the teams that made the playoffs, hey man, he's been touted for so long, and it's still time, but you don't know when it's gonna go. So my thing is that Eberflus, like I said last week, do you want to draft another guy that's gonna be good for the next guy? Because young quarterbacks gonna lose games. This guy has showed he can put you in position to win games, and now you make an even better roster. Yeah, it's gonna be pressure, but I'm for trading the pick. And Washington, they're gonna mess up a
But
quarterback anyway. But
but Justin
that's
Fields
another.
ain't got his just. Justin Fields haven't got his just due. I mean, granted he's had some injuries, and you can see Chicago ain't really building around him because he's like Shani said, 2 or 3 coordinators in every year he's been there, which doesn't make sense. So now I think because if you compare him to the guys that really came out with him, who really stands out in that quarterback group? Matt
I gotta look
Jones.
at it.
People were loving Matt Jones when they thought they was winning. Now he's been a bust.
Yeah,
Uh,
Yeah.
and you look at Tua,
yeah. Lawrence is the best of the group, and then everybody else is just
yeah, but Lawrence still fades late in the season too. He ain't really paying. He's good early on when the weather's nice and his hair's blowing. But when that weather changes in football, it's a little different. It's a little different late
Yeah.
October, November,
right.
December. So you can see. So I think Justin, if Chicago just gotta be behind him because they've been talking about, well, we don't know about Justin in training camp. And he ain't even played the
Yeah,
first game of his career. I don't know about Justin. So that they get behind him,
and
get a good offensive coordinator, somebody that can really groom him. Man, go
that's
hard
the
with them brothers. Take the enemy down there and then watch how they
yeah,
be
The
different.
enemy
make
gonna
it
be
Because
happen.
good. Yeah,
the boy
the enemy. If they
he
get
can
I'm
the
with
run
it.
enemy in
and he can
Chicago, that'd be a good move.
and draft
Find
Marvin
find the right
Harrison
OC.
Jr. #1.
Yeah,
Take Marvin Harrison
if you get
#1, get him a
him,
good
you
offensive
get him and
line.
DJ Moore, that's a problem. Cole Kmet up the scene, like this, it's some pieces. It's really some pieces there that can make some up. And Trey, I seen you in the comments. You said not franchising them. But you got to realize the cost is the cost for quarterbacks, but they really can get him a cost effective deal because he hasn't produced like he could. Now the worst thing they could do is give him all the resources, keep him on the 5th-year option, and then he balls out, and then the price tag goes way up. I would give him the extension and cut all the noise out of everybody and just shop that pick. Because
But
that's what I would do.
we don't have to do it though. This next year will be his
Mhm.
4th year. We don't have to worry about
That's what I'm saying. I'll pick up the 5th year. That's what I'm saying. I'm picking up the 5th-year option as scapegoat. Like, hey, I got you this year and I got you next year, and then we'll talk extension. That's what I do, so you can keep that money and do it because when you have the young quarterback, like Shawnee's mentioned a bunch of times, man, you go and you build that team, you stock it up with talent, and then when you pay the quarterback, you got to let some guys go. But I know we got a little bit of time left in the show. I want to go ahead and it's time to kind of pivot on some things and talk about the playoffs because I want to get some picks because I do think there are some interesting matchups, and I think it's a little bit of fool's gold in some of these matchups. But so Shadi, which one do you want to start with?
I'm intrigued by the whole Rams Lions storyline.
Yeah,
Just how Stafford, he played, I believe, 12. He was 12 years in Detroit. Traded him to LA in the first year. He won the Super Bowl. On the flip side, Jared Goff was pretty much like at the time of the trade, he was banished to Detroit.
Mhm.
yeah,
And I think you could kind of tell with his play that first year in Detroit, he was like, he was kind of feeling some type of way because of the trade. But this year, it's like he accepted, okay, this is my team, and you immediately see an improvement with the line. So that storyline behind the scenes for that particular game is intriguing. The other ones, I gotta really go look. I forgot the.
Well, before you go,
bracket.
who you got? Who you got though? Lions or the
I got the Rams.
You got the Rams?
I think the
They've been
Rams
playing
will
some good
beat them,
football
man.
lately, man. They've been playing some good football. So I know they barely had that game they won against the Giants, but they've been playing some good football at the end of the season. So I got the Rams.
I'm rolling Lions on that one, just off the energy. They've never, which is terrible. This stadium has been around since 2002. They've never played a home playoff game. I think that place is going to be ready to erupt if they just
They're gonna
give them
force one to
something
go back home.
to get excited about. And if they can get the run game going, I know that I would say this. I know fantasy's over. Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp are probably going to have some pretty good games. I think it's going to be a pretty high scoring game. But if they can get that, I think they get that run game going. And I think Aiden Hutchinson, because the Rams, them in the pass protection is shaky. I think he can help make enough plays, and I think they'll be able to win that game.
Yep, I think I got the Lions too. So, who's next?
So are we just going like off? We just picking different games that we like to match up on? Okay.
Well, I guess in this case with Rams and the Lions, then we go to the next game.
Oh, okay. So I like the Rams, and I don't like the Rams. Man, it's gonna be tough. I like Detroit in this game. I think Detroit should win, but man, I'm afraid the Rams might sneak up on them and beat them. Just because Stanford may be looking something the way to get back at them, and what better way to get back at them is to knock them out of the playoffs.
Well, for that reason, I'm picking Detroit because Goff, he can kick some back also. So I'm going with Goff and Detroit at home.
I think with the running game Detroit has, and if they can sort of neutralize Aaron Donald in that pass rush, I think Detroit will get them. I think Detroit will win by at least 10 points because that Superdome, where they play at, what Detroit play at, that dome's going to be, the roof going to fall off because they're going to be rocking up in there.
They're going to be rocking, man.
What's the
LA is really
I want to go with this one. I'm going to go with the Monday night game.
Philly.
Go ahead.
Who was it?
Go ahead, Mr. Ben.
And, you good. You go ahead.
I was just saying,
now you go ahead.
Stick to the NFC right now. I guess the next one is Philly versus.
Yeah.
Who they
Tampa.
Tampa.
They got to go to Tampa.
They got to go to the Bucks.
Man.
Yeah.
It's got to be. I mean, Philly's in free fall right now.
Exactly. I mean, go ahead, Mr. Bennett.
No, I'm saying Hurt gets hurt in the last game. I mean, they are in total free fall right now. So too many losses, and I just don't see where the team is going. So I think Tampa Bay wins at least by 10 points. I think this is a big.
I got Tampa too, man.
I got Tampa.
My man's on a reclamation tour. What's the quarterback? He's on a reclamation tour. Man.
Baker Mayfield.
Yeah,
Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield, but he's gonna win that.
Eagles fell off of grace hard, Doc.
Hey, that's man. Look, it's one of them things when we were talking about it, Shani. When we were talking about it, like, hey man, they are 10-1. They are 10-1, but these games they've been kind of sneaking by. And like I heard somebody say, they was 10-1 when really they should have been 7-3. And then it came out to showing that just the bottom fell out. The defense is just absolutely terrible. It's just terrible. Oh, so you say you got the Texans, Bills, Chiefs.
Look at Trey got his whole thing.
Yeah, I think it's gonna come down to the quarterback play. Jalen Hurts ain't been in his best all year, and who's that? What's the boy's name?
Baker Mayfield.
Mayfield. He has something to prove. This is a fresh start. He has something to prove. The weather is going to favor Tampa. Because Philly, it's going to be both of them are outside teams, so it's going to really come down to the quarterback play.
There you go. All right, well, so since someone brought it up, let's get to The next game, Dallas and Green Bay. Shawnee, I asked you a few weeks ago, are you feeling the love? Are you feeling the love? I got a feeling, of course, there's no way I can't pick Dallas under any circumstances. So I'm picking Green Bay for the upset, and Dallas once again at home in a playoff loss. So I'm putting that. I'm stamping my.
We'd have
put
to
down
hear Stephen
love.
A. Smith.
Love is going to save the day.
Of
I
course,
like Love, man. I like Love, man. He's
of
really
course,
smart.
I have.
next.
Of course, I have Dallas. I believe Green Bay. Hell, I can't. Is it Green Bay's just secondary? I forgot it was a secondary run defense, but one of them is weak. And
Alexander's back.
If it's a secondary, Alexander back, but
Can't stop him.
hell, he gonna have his hands full with Lamb. I mean, Lamb pretty much he move all over the field. He gonna dominate.
Playing well. He's playing well.
Yeah, I think Dallas passing game is gonna give Green Bay secondary fits. And if it happens like that, especially in this stadium, that's why it was so important. They got the number 2 seed, and and the offense can click, and it forces Green Bay to pass a lot. Now you don't open the floodgate. So I got Cowboys. They're a whole different team at home. So that's why they got number 2 seed. So I got Cowboys.
I'm gonna be a little sterner with mine. It could, man. Look, this is the second highest point spread, 7.5. Buffalo got 10.5 against the Steelers. I think that means something. I want to say a veteran defensive coordinator that's interviewing for jobs against a first-time a quarterback in his first playoff start. It means for an ass whoop. It really is. And I'm not even being arrogant on this one. I don't think they can block Parsons for 4 quarters. The only thing that would trouble me is Love can make plays, and they got quick receivers. And with Stephon Gilmore, these are receivers that are going to give him problems. They're shifty. They don't have a lot of guys with size that he can go and cover. So that shiftiness is going to hurt him. And then the fact that we've been playing a lot of soft zones. But I would say Jordan Love needs to be careful because it's a ball hawk over there in Bland. I think that's a first team all pro there. And I think defensively they'll play enough. Aaron Jones does give the Cowboys problems, but I don't see him getting it done. And I will say this: if they do lose, I need Monday before the Monday night game. I need Mark McCarthy. Pack your bags. Give me your key card because this is an unlosable game. You can't lose this game. You cannot lose this game.
Three straight 12-win seasons.
No
that
pressure.
will be fine.
No pressure.
Don't. He knew what he came here for.
No pressure.
I'm gonna ride with Dallas because there's no goddamn way I could cheer for the damn Packers. So
You against the Cowboys, so what? The enemy is my friend. What's going on?
Definitely.
that's it. Like that's been it right there.
Oh my gosh.
That's so funny.
I'm gonna take a little less unbiased approach. I'm not a Cowboys fan. I don't like it, but I'm always rooting for my alma mater, my brother Scott. I hope he has a good game, but I would want to see Jordan Love, being a young quarterback, sort of come in, get the upset, play good ball. It's going to come down to the turnovers and Dallas's run game. Well, if Dallas can control the run game, because they ain't been running the ball lately, and it's been looking good with CD Lamb, so hopefully he can stay healthy throughout the game. And I think if Jordan Love is on the money, I think Green Bay might slip in with the upset and hurt Jerry's world. And have the United States, when you go to work on that next day, everybody gonna be quiet and sad, like, oh, the Cowboys lost.
You have to listen to Stephen A. Smith, man.
You let her have it.
Oh man.
If that happens like that, that's when you can't watch the national shows because it's gonna be just misery. It's gonna be misery. Absolute misery.
So we go to the AFC side. So the Browns versus Houston at Houston. Who y'all got for that one?
Ooh, that's probably
I'm right with the young Stroud. I'm with Stroud and D'Amico Ryans them at home. I know that they are actually home. They are home dog. I want to say they Cleveland is like a 2.5 point favorite, but I mean the Flacco. I know Flacco's been doing enough, and their defense is ferocious. But I think at home, hyped up about winning that division. I think I'm gonna give them the slight edge.
Ooh.
I like comeback player of the year. Who I should think should be comeback player of the year, and that's Joe Flacco. So
Same.
I like Cleveland, man. I like Cleveland, man. They tough, even though they down to the 4th string quarterback. You know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah, I'm gonna go with Joe Flacco on that defense, man. So
That's the one thing he could do, man. He could sling that ball, man. He could still sling that ball, man. I think the Texans going to win, though. I want to see the young guy win, man. I'll see Stroud. I'd like to see the Texans win that game. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. It's going to come down to the last play. I think last series.
Yeah, I'm liking Cleveland as well. Again, there's a playoff Flacco. He's shown it in the past, and I think this stage for Houston. I think the Browns 2 season. I mean, they upset some big teams this year. They beat San Francisco, so I think they're going to be primed. The defense is going to be primed there. So I like the Browns in a close one.
Right.
I'm a Texans fan, but I think these two teams played each other in week 15.
Yeah,
Flacco,
36 to 22 Browns.
Flacco lit them up.
But
Flacco
again,
lit up
Houston
that
was playing with the
now
first
Stroud
string
didn't play.
He didn't play. That's right.
But that defense was on the field, and Flacco he just lit them up. 368, 3 touchdowns, 2 picks, but he lit them up. So I mean, and then Cleveland has the edge on defense, of course. So just because it was so recent, I know Stroud didn't play in game 1. The loss of Tank Dell for the Texans is proven to be a big blow because I think with him, they could potentially upset Cleveland. But I got the Browns. Hopefully, Texans can prove me wrong, but I just have the Browns right now. But I agree with you, Hink. I believe Joe Flacco should be comeback player of the year when you keep it in football. But the storyline, even though he was inactive for a lot of games this year, the storyline is going to give that award to Damar Hamlin.
Yeah.
So, I mean, just because of the field angle. But on the field, I believe it should be Joe Flacco by far.
Yeah.
I mean, he played well. Hamlin not.
I like Cleveland. I like Cleveland just because, of course, you already mentioned Joe Flacco. But Cleveland, if they because everybody's coming back. Cooper's back. If they utilize their running game, I think it'll give Texans some problems because they have 2 good running backs, and they're going to get all their receiving quarterback. And Myles Garrett, he's going to have a field day. He's going to run wild. So I think Cleveland go upset them by at least 6 to 10 points.
Okay, so who y'all have at the next game?
Dolphins and the Chiefs.
Dolphins and Chiefs.
No way I can pick the Dolphins. No confidence. It's gonna be extremely cold. I think they just gonna kind of limp off, and he gonna be like, I told you so. So I can't see it. Even though if it was better conditions, the Chiefs this is the one time that they are the most vulnerable. But I just don't see them pulling it off. I see the Chiefs taking care of business.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Chiefs too because it's their time of season, right? Come playoff time, they find a way
when they turn it on
together. They find receivers that they didn't have all regular season. Also, they decide to just pop out a hole somewhere and they start to play and catch balls. So I'm gonna go with the Chiefs on this game. My fault, trying to make that joke, brother.
No, you're good, man. You're good. I appreciate it. I'm gonna choose the Chiefs, and because if you look at it, Chiefs went through a rough patch late in the season, but nobody really got hurt. They was just losing games. Chris Jones just got his bonus, so I think he's gonna be a madman out there playing with a little bit more motivation. And if that slinging Mahomes, if his receivers connect, but again, Miami's coming from that nice tropical weather. It's hard as hell to play in the coldest part of the country right now in Kansas City with that wind whirling around. So Tua better have his extra pad in his helmet because he's going to get knocked around. You better have it.
Yeah, just remind me of back in the day. Remember that linebacker, Brian Cox, when they went up and played, I think in Buffalo. he was spitting
Yeah.
coming off the field.
Mhm.
The smart pick, I'll pick the Chiefs, but I'll say this: if somehow Tyreek Hill comes out there and balls, and I think it's not a hard fact that if Chiefs lose, we may be saying because them receivers didn't step up. So if the Chief receivers don't step up, and then the dude that left your team to go to Miami somehow has a good game, I can just imagine the noise that would be going on in
Yeah.
Kansas City.
And Travis
But the smart pick,
Kelsey got
the
he
Chiefs,
got to step
I
up.
got Chiefs. Yeah.
I think Travis Kelsey has to step it up for the lack of the receiving help. He has to pick. He has to. It's playoff time. He has to, like we're saying, playoffs this, playoff that. He has to take it to another level because he's had his standards are down year.
I'm playing your favorite. He can't concentrate because he got old girls showing up at the game. What you talking about?
You got to tell her. He got to put all that to a side for the postseason and get it and go get it done. And shout out to Chris
Well, she
Jones
gonna be
for
there.
getting
You know
his
she gonna be there.
sacks and buying the defense. I want to say he bought the whole defensive line and the coaches Rolexes because he got his bone. Shout out to him for that.
And I guess
Which other ones we got?
Well, I was gonna let Mr. Bennett have the floor on this one. The last one is still.
Oh yeah.
All right. Now I'll take the floor. First of all, the disrespect. 10-point underdogs going into the game. With a psychotic coach like Mike Tomlin, who actually he talks about we do not live in his
10-point underdog.
10-point underdogs.
Damn.
No respect. This is feeding directly into Mike Tomlin's paranoia. And he's going to have that team so amped up for this game. And with the running game looking the way it is, we've been just beating people up with the run, what you're going to need because the weather's going to be inclement. So I think our running game is going to be dominant. And I'm going to be riding my man, Mr. Rudolph, run Rudolph. Shout out to Chuck Berry. I'm riding Rudolph in this game, 40 upset. And more than like, but it'll be a close game, though. I'll say that my man, Chris Boswell, he'll probably kick a couple field goals. I'm like 2013 Pittsburgh, and don't let us win this game, though, because if we do, we own the AFC this year, swept Baltimore, should have swept the Browns. So again, we making a run again. Kansas City, I think they're compromised also. And by that time, we should also get TJ White back, because fortunately, he only had a grade 2 MCL sprain. So we get him back. All bets are off. Steelers may make a run to get to the Super Bowl, but don't let us win this game. Still, Pittsburgh, I say 16-10 Pittsburgh in the quote unquote upset. And you just gave Mike Tomlin all the ammo that he needs to get this team talk about. See, that's what they don't want us. They don't want us to win. You know, and we're gonna hear all the Tomlinisms coming out of. You know, he's gonna give the team all of that. So if anything, they'll play just so they don't have to hear the Tomlinism. So I got Pittsburgh 16-10. Book it. Boswell going to be the difference in the game. I'm done.
I can't pick a Mason Rudolph red team as much as I like Tomlin over what's the name team. I can't. I just don't see it. I got Buffalo. I don't know if it'll be by 10. I think they're gonna make it closer, but I do think Buffalo got this one.
I got Buffalo.
I went to school in Buffalo.
That's all right. Oh yeah. That's right.
I didn't say I have Buffalo. I went to school. I like to see Pittsburgh win. I like to see Pittsburgh win that game. I like to see.
Yeah, I don't see it, man. I got Buffalo.
That's right. Say it with your chest. That's right. Say it with your beard. That's right.
I think it's going to come down to a field goal. It's going to come down to a field goal. Mike Tomlin, you know, he already feel disrespected. He's going to have his defense flying around. The quarterback play for Pittsburgh is probably going to be the most crucial quarterback play in the playoffs. He has to be consistent, and they have to play a solid game on offense. No turnovers. And remember, we talked about Pittsburgh earlier towards the latter part of the season. Brother Benny, you was a little iffy with Pittsburgh making it. I told you they was coming.
Look, the animals. Look, I follow the Yinzers. Okay, the Yinzers were at the gate, and they were ready to run over Mike Tomlin, run him out of town. So that was not a good period of time. But Rudolph came in for Christmas and saved Christmas for us. And again, we're going to ride Rudolph. until the wheels come off. So he's definitely going to be the starter for the rest of the postseason, even if they get to the Super Bowl. And they're definitely going to have to reconsider Kenny Pickett next year if they want to bring in a free agent or something like that. So again, I think the days of Kenny Pickett might be coming to an end in Pittsburgh. So again, new day, turn the page, and let's see if we can get this W.
All right, so if they do win, they play Baltimore.
And we swept Baltimore this year, with or without
forget
Jackson.
about the regular season.
It doesn't matter. We own Jackson. We own him. Check the record.
I'm not gonna lie. I would love to see y'all play him.
We own
him. Split.
We're the kryptonite.
I think y'all split with Baltimore. I don't think y'all split.
No. 2-4. No. We swept Baltimore this year. We beat them the first time 17-10, and we just beat them. And we also beat them 17-10 this last time. So again, we own the Ravens. We own them. Go back to the Ray Lewis days. We own them back then too.
That B squad, the Ravens put on the field last Sunday, man.
I thought y'all split with them. I didn't know y'all swept them.
No, we swept. We're 5-1 in the AFC North.
Hold on now, a minute. You counting that last game, really?
He's counting the last game.
He's
counting.
That's right. I want to hear it.
No Lamar Jackson, the boys are still on the sideline.
Wait a minute. I'm counting the game. Wait a minute. I'm counting the earlier game in the year where we beat them too. Now, what are you going to say about that?
Well, that makes sense. That makes sense. But the MVP over Chile, he already hot dogs and
MVP of the league. We beat the MVP of the league. So I want to hear it.
Hey, I would claim it too.
A win is a win.
I know that's right.
It got y'all in the play. That win got y'all in the playoffs. I'm a Lamar Jackson. I think I want to see Lamar Jackson go ahead.
He's got to win it all.
You know what I'm saying? Just shut the naysayers up. Put us brothers back on the top again. We're going to ride every year after that. We're going to win Super Bowls. So all the brothers coming in playing quarterback, it's time to start winning some Super Bowls.
Now, R-Pain, you were getting on us because you thought we were a little bit critical of Jackson for his former playoff performances. But again, you're talking about potentially the MVP of the league. You got the number 1 seed. If he doesn't win this time, especially if he loses the first game, so whoever they play,
I agree.
Coming out, okay, so he's on the hook. So,
but Mr. Bennett, I'm the one who says I'm mad that he got the bye. I don't like the bye. He's got 2 weeks off.
You did say that.
I think that's horrible, man. 2 weeks off. So I don't know. We'll see the first play. The first series of the game is going to see if they're rusty or not.
Mm-hmm.
Well, fellas, it looks like we in that.
Yeah, but also they might get Mark Andrews back with enough time.
Yeah,
I've heard that. I haven't heard anything on it, but did we pick all the AFC games? I know we got
we picked them all. We picked them all.
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah,
we did.
So we look like we in the closing stretch when we got this final thoughts coming in. So I'll just make mine quick. My final thoughts is going to be about the NFL MVP award. And again, I think I mentioned this on a past show. I believe if there was any year that award should go to a non-QB, it would have been this year. Just a revolving door of the favorites. That's all we pretty much have right now. Is just these favorites that I look at ESPN, but I guess they coming from Vegas. But it's like one quarterback will be the favorite 1 week, have a bad game. Here goes another quarterback going to be the favorite. So it's just a revolving door. When Dak was the favorite for MVP, Lamar was 3rd or 4th. Dak had a bad game. Purdy took over. Purdy and Jackson had head-to-head. Purdy had a bad game. Jackson had a good game. So now Jackson is the MVP favorite at the end of the year. So, but I believe CMC, Tyreek Hill had a chance. Hell, even Myles Garrett had a chance at one time early in the season before he got hurt. His name was up there. But, I mean, if anything, man, because Lamar Jackson's numbers are they're not like his first MVP year, So I thought this year should have been the year for a non-QB, but I know they're not going to do it. They need to go ahead and change that name of that award, and that MVP, change it to a quarterback award. So that's my final thought.
I would say this, Johnny. I think if they don't do that, they're not going to change it. don't ever give offensive player of the year to a quarterback. That's what I think they should do. They should never. They should kind of bar them like y'all can win MVP, but just no need to take off. Don't take all the awards from the other skill players. These guys are great too. So I'm with you on that.
So I guess my MVP and final thought, man, I would say McCaffrey. Truth be told, I would go with him and Hill as number 2, and then of course Lamar in there. But we all know it's going to be a quarterback given that award to. So unfortunately, that's the way the NFL is now. Strictly all about the quarterback. So
I'll go next. Just switching gears a little bit. If it's Belichick's last year in New England, I got a feeling Mike Vrabel will go to the Patriots, back to the Patriots. I think he'll be the guy to succeed him.
Yeah, so MVP, I would take McCaffrey as well, Hill second, and then Lamar third. I have that same one. I don't think he has the numbers for MVP. He has a sensationalism, maybe. But for me, I don't care what he does. He's got to win the Super Bowl. That's the only thing I can. That's in order for him to end all the bull, he has to win the whole thing. It's a lot of weight on his shoulders. But once he wins the Super Bowl, we could probably put the black quarterback thing to bed.
Yeah,
that's what I'm thinking. So he's doing us all a favor. I thought it was going to be Doug Williams, but that wasn't true. Right.
You're going way back, brother.
I still got the tape of that, man. I have the VHS tape of that, man. I would get it
The only things in the AFC was awful. AFC got trounced every year in them days.
Yeah, Kaepernick had a chance.
I think like I mentioned, already is Lamar I think Lamar's the favorite. It's still wide open for it. I don't think they really picked the MVP after the first playoff round anyway. So hopefully he gets it. I think it's as far as the coaching, it's about 5 or 6 coaching vacancies. I think they should really look at some young brothers and get them some good talented brothers because the dynamic of the quarterback is changing. So you need some brothers that can relate to that and just help a lot of these brothers continue to thrive, because we've seen what happens when we have that good, solid foundation for a young quarterback and a coach that gives them that confidence. You got a rookie coach, a rookie quarterback. We win together, we lose together. So I think it's just going forward, just a good time to start looking at some talent that's there, looking for these brothers that's waiting for their opportunity, and just see where it lays out, because the NFL is changing just like college football. You're going to get more seasoned players coming out, with the name, image, and likeness over the next few years. You're going to have smarter players. And I think, so it's just going to make a good time for football going into the future, man. Pay everybody. Everybody can get some of that.
Everybody got to get check.
Everybody.
They making enough. But I don't know. For me, for my final thought, I just want to say something we spoke on when it happened. And sometimes we can overreact too much and bury guys. I don't know, like we had a conversation in the chat. It was question about was CD about CD Lamb, number 1, could he play like this? And I was like, hey man, give him time. I was like, hey, it was a rough game, it was a rough outing, and he came out, and as far as many really phenomenal players that have been especially number 88 for the Cowboys, for him to break first of all for Michael Irvin's records for a run heavy team to make it to make it that long was incredible. For him to break those records and just have a sensational season, I think that he showed something. And just as far as being too high and being too low, it's all about kind of being even keel. We talked about Philadelphia earlier, and everyone was praising them, giving them high. Now they're ready to fire the coach and go crazy, and it's like people are alluding to that. And it's just like sometimes you gotta even it out. Like they could I picked them to lose, but they could very well win that game. But it's just a dangerous game they play, and playing in a place like Philly, if they fire that coach after losing that game, that's I think that's gonna set them back. So,
wow, yeah, awesome.
Cool.
All right, should be a great weekend. Great weekend for this. Honestly, this is my favorite weekend of the NFL. The wild card weekend is football all day Saturday, all day Sunday, and now we got a Monday night game as well. So it's like this is the best time for me. Once you get to the championship games of the Super Bowl, it's almost anticlimactic. But this is, if you're a football fan, this is what you sleep in, you order out, and you just
The
chill for
wings,
the
man,
whole
that's
weekend.
yep.
No other plans going on.
Oh yeah.
This is the best weekend of the year, of the NFL year. Absolutely.
I agree. All right,
All right.
gentlemen. Great.
All right. Well, we appreciate you guys coming
All
out.
right,
Hank, we
guys.
appreciate you coming out. I said, Mr. Payne, let's go.
Yeah.
Hey man, we
Yes,
appreciate
sir.
everybody in the chat. Y'all have a good week, man.
Yes,
Enjoy
sir.
that football. We'll catch y'all next week.
Appreciate y'all,
You
man.
got
All
it.
right, y'all.
Take care, guys.
Peace.
God bless. Yep.
Peace.
Fast lane when I pass in the street, bag of money in the passenger seat. Simcoe's been asking for me on the road from the west to the east. Way up, I might never come down, cause the coast racking up the flight miles. So high, I might never come down, so what, this is my lifestyle. Wait a minute. Work hard for the car, so that's why it's all tinted. Wait a minute. Had a real late night, woke up with my head spinning out in Nashville. It's been mad real. I need sunglasses, I need Advil. I like fake moves, and my cash real. I like first place, you're in last still. Fast lane when I pass in the street, bag of money in the passenger seat. Simcoe's been asking for me on the road from the west to the east. Way up, I might never come down, cause the coast racking up the flight miles. So high, I might never come down, so what, this is my lifestyle.
Look, pocket rocket in my pocket, please don't make me pop it. All these boys just wanna copy the style, tell them niggas stop it. Whoa, it's my destiny, feeling like LaToya, like it found me my Beyonce, and she shotgun in the cockpit. Grinding with the team, making C notes. In my pocket still full of green, call it CeeLo. Alligator watch on me, Tim Tebow. And these haters love to watch me like Tebow. Look, I don't take L's, I just learn a lesson. Before I count the M's, always count my blessings. Look, I'm too short, never second guessing. Got some money, put up for the rain, so I'm never stressing.
Fast lane when I pass in the street, bag of money in the passenger seat. Simcoe's been asking for me on the road from the west to the east. Way up, I might never come down, cause the coast racking up the flight miles.